Hi, Melanie here, and thank you for joining me on my channel today. Today I'm going to be hopefully recreating this Christmas card, and I have used a gel plate and the Gritty Christmas and Sparkle and Shine die sets and the Pretty Christmas Magical stamp set, and I'm going to be using Distress Oxides in Villainous Potion, and Prized Ribbon. And I've got a piece of Dolly Dimples Mixed Media card stock on my desk as well, which I'm using to clean my brayer off for a bit. So I sprayed a bit of water and then run the brayer over the top. So that was the Villainous Potion, and then go in with the Prized Ribbon. Oops, bit too heavy there, but never mind. Right, let's start laying the die cuts on. Pop. Can't pick that one up. One more. Right, so I've got my dies down. So I've got a piece of cardboard that I've stripped the outer coating off. So I'm just gonna pop it onto the gel plate and press down, which also not only gives you the texture, but it makes sure that your dies have left an impression, or hopefully, if I've done it correct, will leave the impression. Right, so I'm going to take the dies off gently, and these can be used on other projects. Come here. Thank you. Right. So I've got a piece of Clarity's stencil card. And give it a good rub. And there we go. So that's our print. So I'm going to spray some water just to get a bit of movement around the edge. Just hold that down. And I don't like how harsh those lines are. Oops, my paper's on the move. Right, I'm happy with that. So I'll dry this off and then I'll be back with you in a minute. There we go, that's the background all dried off. So I need to trim that down and then edge it with a Sharpie. Right, so I've trimmed it down and edged it. So that's what the background now looks like. So the next step is to decorate the baubles. So I've die cut two of the baubles, well, yeah, the two of the baubles, and I need to stamp out the third bauble. So I've got just a bit of the scrap left over from where I was die cutting. So I'll stamp this one. I haven't shown you the stamps, I'm sorry. These are the stamps. So you get a verse with the snowflakes, and then you get lots of little individual snowflakes, 'Tis the Season, and two of the baubles. And there we go. So let's stamp out this one. There we go, so that's that one. the other two, I'm going to use a clear ink pad, and the one I've got is from a company called Pretty Things, and use some of the opaque bright white superfine from Wow. So the big bauble, I'll use the verse on that one. And I don't need all of it, so I can mount it onto the smaller block. Ooh, nearly lost it. Didn't think about that very well, did I? Right, I will have to move that off of the white paper. Right, so I want to try and avoid where, I don't know what that bit's called, but that would be the metal area. So I want to try and avoid that section, and also try and avoid banging my head on the camera. There. I've gone off on to one side. Move that out of the way. And no, I didn't use a anti-static bag, mainly because I don't know where I put it. It disappeared, never to be seen again. Alright, let's heat that up. I'll try and get it on camera so you can see, hopefully. She says. And there we go, it's just starting to go. Ouch. And there we go, that's all heat embossed. White on white is not good. I don't know. There we go. Yay. Right, next one. What was I gonna, where have I put it? It's disappeared. Where? I have honestly lost. Oh, idiot. It's on the desk, Melanie. It's on the glass mat, Melanie. Alright, so what am I going to put on that one? Let's put on some of the smaller snowflakes. So what I'll do is place them onto the die and then let's put that one over there, trying to miss where the metal section would be. Actually, no, I don't want as big a one as that at the top. Put that one. Sorry, could be here all day, couldn't I? Just figuring out which little snowflakes I was going to use. That one. There. Right. Ink that up. There. I'm not overly worried about if there's too much. I think there's a bit down here, but once the distress ink goes on, it will just give it a bit more effect. So pop that away. And get my tweezers for this one because that burnt my fingers a minute ago. There we go. Normally I'm not too concerned whether I heat from the top or heat from the bottom, but I would like a smoother finish to these, hence why I heated from the bottom. Let's see if I can. I think that's it. There we go. So I've heat embossed both of those two. Stamped out the other one. So I will fussy cut that one. You don't need to see me do that. So I will be back in a minute. Right, so I've fussy cut out the little one. And I'm going to use my crocodile hole puncher from We Are Memory Keepers. And I've got a bit of card stuck in and I can't find my pokey tool. There it is. Poke that out. Right. So I'm using the bigger. You've got two on there, so that's the smaller one. So I'm using the bigger and just line the hole up. There we go. And where I've cut off some of the black stamping, I can go back in with the micron pen and re-edge it. Right, now to colour them. Move that out of the way. And that. Right, so dear me. So that was the Villainous Potion oxide. Sprayed a bit of water. I still would like to try and avoid that, but if I don't, I don't. So let's just dip. Spray that a bit as well because that's too harsh and too much water. Give it a run around. And I put far too much ink on the glass mat. Right, let's leave that like that for a minute. I'm going to dry that off because I think I might dip it again. So I'll dry this off and then I'll be back in a minute, okay? Right, so I've dried it off and I think I'm going to dip it again. Add a bit more down the bottom. Oh, nearly lost it. There we go, so I'll dry that off again. Wipe that up because I don't do I or don't? And just add a little bit more. There we go. Right, I'll dry it off and then I'll be back again in a minute. So that's that's that one all dry. Right, let's colour the other one with prized ribbon. And try not to put as much ink out this time. I'll try not to move that too much because I actually like it like that. I'll dry that one off. And I think I'm going to add a bit more just around there. And yes, I completely missed it there, but I like that. So I wasn't meant to be getting colour on there, was I? Was trying to avoid it, and I didn't. And I haven't got a clue which cardstock I'm using. This isn't the mixed media card. Let's wipe that up and dry this off. So there we go, there's that one all done. And because I've got the ink across the top, I'm just going to dip this one again and put it across there as well. That's not as dark as it should be. I think I was being too frugal with the ink. And now I've got it everywhere, honestly. But that's not going the way it's meant to. Alright, dry that off. Alright, so I've been back in on that one. Dried it all off, and the last one I'm going to use picked raspberry. Add some tweezers. There they are. Let's dry that one off a minute. And I think I'll go back in and dip it just very gently and hope I don't cover where I don't want to. Right. Dry that off again. Alright, so that's all three of the baubles done, and no, I don't like this. I don't like it. So I'm gonna be, where are they? I'm gonna be dipping my stag and Merry Christmas into the Pretty Whipped Mousse Sterling. So while I'm doing those two, I can paint in the tops with this as well. So let's mix up some on the glass mat, which is still rather hot. So the whipped mousse is a stencil paste, but if you take some out, you can water it down and you can use it as a watercolour, or like I'm going to do, dip into it. I said this was actually made for putting through your stencils. but there is so many things you can actually do with it. You can use it like a gilding wax, so either use it with your finger or use it with a soft brush. You can make skins with it and then die cut the skins. Let's move that board down a bit. Sorry, I didn't realise it was that far out of shot. Alright, get my tweezers and pick my stag up. Off you pop, thank you. Sorry. Right, so that's him done. Right, so let's do the Christmas that way. So that's Christmas. I think I need a little bit more on that E. Yeah. Right, so what's on my palette knife and on the board? I'll use to go onto, and hopefully it probably won't work, but it will give it a bit of sheen. I think that'll probably need another coat. But it worked to a certain extent. I'm happier with it like that. Let's pop it out of the way. Now before I mop that up, I'll dry all of these off and then see if I need to add any more. So that's them all done and dry. And because it took a little bit longer to dry them, what was left has now welded itself to my glass mat. So I will need to use my palette knife to scrape it off. What I will say is, when you're heating up the whipped mousse to dry it, please be very careful because it does get very, very hot. And if you don't mind it bubbling to give you extra depth, for example, let me just show you the stag's tail. Or I'm trying to. Where the heat was on it too long, it's bubbled. Which is fine if you, like I said, don't mind it. But I didn't particularly want a bubbly stag. Right, so I've done all of those. So I will clean my mat and then we'll move on to the next bit. There we go, so I've cleaned off my mat and then I have been around the edge of the dies with a black Sharpie. I've also gone in with my micron pen and gone around the trees and just given them a bit of an, well, it's not an edge, but it now makes it look more like it's a stamp than just a die cut. I've stuck my background down to my card blank, so let's pop this together. So I'm using Pretty Gets Gritty's gel medium. So that's all over the back of the larger one. So this one obviously isn't going to be the same as the original because the print on this one is on this side and the print on the original was that side. So now I'm doing everything in reverse. So I've got that one there. I've popped some cardboard onto the back of the blue one to give it a bit more height. So I want that one round about there. So that's going to go like that. So let's pop the pink one in behind the blue. That one there. This tree's going to go in behind. I'm just trying to wipe off some of the excess on the tree, because when I go to push it down it'll move the micron pen, and I don't particularly want that to happen. So that one's going to sit over the top like that. He's going to come down here. Ah, that's stuck to my finger. You're going to sit there. Let's move you over slightly. So you're there. Pop you down a minute. Like that. Pulled out some stringy stuff that Gritty Gets Gritty sells, and they sell it in a bag. So you've got the cream, the darker brown, and then that one's more like a chestnut brown, and I don't know whether you saw it because there's so much glare from the thing. So I've pulled out only the smallest amount, which I was going to pop behind the stag, and this is what I always forget, and it's not until after I've done something it's, oh, I wish I'd done that. So I'm trying to remember before I get too carried away. I'm trying to make it like a little bit of a nest. Which then won't stay where I want it, will it? So he's going to sit on like that. There's too much bulk there. Let's pull some of that out. You really need the tiniest amount of this. So let's pop the tree back down before I forget it completely. Bring that there, and then pop this all. Sit down, please, thank you. Pop the stag on top. And that's generally when I end up sticking the glue pot back on top of it all, just to weight it down long enough for it to dry off a bit so it stays where I want it. So I think that's where I want him. Let's pop Merry Christmas down. This is going to look really strange, but I am going to put a weight on. So that's another really lovely product from Pretty Gets Gritty. It's the Gritty Crystal Toppings, which is a rather heavy pot. So that will keep it where it's meant to be. Is that going to be straight? I think so. Obviously I've got a pot in the way now, so I can't see what I'm doing properly. Where's that going? And there. This will all flatten down when it's completely dry. Right, so we have that. I think it needs just that little bit extra. So I've pulled out some flowers, some of the paper flowers, and I've also got brand new vintage pearls that are going to be on Create and Craft on Pretty Gets Gritty's show that is on the 6th of December. So they've brought you previously the mermaid pearls, And yes, I've put them in baby food jars. And they've also brought you the posh pearls. So we have now got vintage pearls, which I think will go really nice with this. But I'm not sure about adding some flowers or whether they're going to be too big, and I can't see. That one's too big. Because I can always use some of the Distress Oxide to add a bit more. Ooh, I like that. Let's go in there. To add a bit more colour, but I think the only one that needs a bit of colour is this one, but let's add a little bit of picked raspberry. And because these are paper flowers, it should take the colour quite nicely. That was darker. Pretty Gets Gritty have got a nice range of mulberry paper flowers on their website, so if you like the look of these, it'd be worth popping over and having a look to see what they've got. The new vintage pearls won't be available on the website yet. They'll be exclusive to Create and Craft. Added a bit of the oxide. Let's get these stuck down with the gel medium. So this card isn't going to look anything like the one I was previously done, but it had the same bones, just this one's become more mixed media, adding in the flowers and the stringy stuff, and now to add in the pearls. So I think just add you've got 3 different sizes in here, a large, a medium and the smaller one. So I'm actually trying to go for the smaller. And there's lots of different tones on them. And obviously at the moment you'll see more gel medium than you will pearl, so it'll be when they're completely dry that you'll see them to their true colour. And if you can't do something really beautiful and unique for Christmas, when can you? Do I prefer it like that or like that? The bottom one, move. Well, the gel medium will dry clear, so it's not going to cause too much of an issue, but if you don't particularly want it there. And quickly scrape it off. So where am I going to put the last 3? Don't know whether it actually needs 3 there. You generally work in 3s, don't you? Just looks a bit strange. Oh well. Oh! That wasn't supposed to stick to my finger and that just went flying. This is where we end up finding pearls all over the place. And Lydia will go, Mum, you been at it again? I can't get that one to stick now. Oh, rubbish. And it is nearly that time to go and get her from school. Will you stop sticking to my finger? I'm not going to get 3 like I've got over there, so I am going to have to go up. Like that. Oh, really? No, stay. Stop sticking to my finger. Thank you. And now I need to quickly change that. No. Oh, stop sticking. Dear me. How are you? Yes, you'll unstick as well. Good. Try and hide, or half hide, under there. No wonder it's stuck to my finger. I've got so much glue stuck to my thumb. I think there's an awful lot of squidge there. I think I'm happy with that. Right. I will let this dry and I will bring you back to show you the end results. So there we are, all nice and dry. I hope you liked this video, and if you did, could you please like and subscribe, and I'll bring in the original piece. And zoom out. And there we are. So So you've got the flatter version that you can pop in the post, and you've got the 3D version that you can hand to that special family member or friend. Thank you very much for joining me, and hope to see you in the next video. Bye.